What is up, guys? This is Nathan with Barklife. We are heading to pick up some parts for the Sc300. Super stoked. We'll show you what we're getting, but make sure you guys stay tuned to the end of the video and we'll show you guys what we're getting for our Sc300. And you know who you are. I always find myself in the car driving to get parts at random places. Part of it is because the idea of just buying all your parts and not getting a good deal kills me. I like to do things in a way where it's built well. Like I'll spend the money where it needs to be spent, but if I can, I don't need the prettiest parts. And I'm not buying the parts so that, you know, somebody can envy what I'm doing, or somebody can, you know, oh, I wish I was that cool, or, you know, whatever. It sounds stupid, but I think a good majority, and this is going to be a hateful, or received as a hateful thing, I should say. A lot of people buy the parts and buy things for their car so that they can one-up somebody else. Like, that's the motivation for building the car. Instead of like, I enjoy motorsports, I enjoy working on my car, it's that I can one-up someone else. Like, I can make someone else, almost in essence, make them feel insignificant because my mods are so much better. And it leads to, and that sort of mindset where you're trying to one-up your friends or do this or do that, leads to a toxic thing. Yeah, there's some rivalry that's fun to have with your friends. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to have rivalry and have fun and compete. But it's another to just be, I don't know, toxic, I guess. Because it's really easy to do that. Like, it's easy to be like the guy that's like, oh, I got one better than you, or I got one this or that. And honestly, that's, I would say, the number one thing I don't enjoy. No, sorry. The one thing I don't enjoy about owning the Supra is the fact that, like, when I bought it, it wasn't an expensive car, and it wasn't that sought after. And it became a big deal, and now, especially the left-hand, oh, you have a left-hand drive, no, not that scrubby right-hand drive. A large part of me wants to either sell the Supra or get a right-hand drive just because I enjoy the car, not because I need someone's attention, you know what I mean? Like, when I got the Supra, it wasn't that big a deal. Like, people liked them, but now the Supra is like this extremely elevated thing. And I've owned a lot of cars, and the Supra is one of my favorite cars, but the hype is merely because of lack of opportunity to buy them. There are things about them that are unique to them, the driving position, the gauges, all that. But I'm here to tell you, it's still just a car. Like, it's still just a car. There are 1,000 other cars that are cool. And honestly, I really don't appreciate the fact that with the Supra comes everybody's opinions, everybody's rude to you, everybody's like, how much did you pay for it? You know, oh, I wouldn't do that mod, I wouldn't do this. And honestly, I'm enjoying driving the Sc300 because, yeah, it's, and here's a mind blower. All you people out there that are elitist saying Sc300 is so not a Supra. It's the same basic chassis. It's heavier because they don't have the lightweight fenders, the doors, the hoods. But as far as what motor, the transmissions, other than the manual, obviously, but who wants a V160 anyways? You want to break it? You want to spend 12 grand to buy a new one? Anyways, the Sc300 is a capable chassis. It's a great chassis. And like I said, a small part of me wants to get rid of my Supra and then put some of that money into the Sc300. But the problem is now people are seeing that the Sc300s are getting rare. So those are starting to become cool and expensive. But I do like that I show up to these meets on Saturday and do cruises and different stuff. And I just exist. Like, man, I get to just exist. No one's trying to tell me how slow I am or how fast they are. It's just a chill environment. The SC people come up, hey, I have an SC2, I like them. And that's cool. I appreciate that. And I'm going to spend a little bit of money on my SC right now. And I'm excited that I'm going to be able to show you guys that I'm going to be able to turbo this thing for a budget price. Yeah, there's some finagling you have to do. There are some buying, selling, trading, swapping, whatever. But you guys can do the same thing too. Be creative and take your time, and don't let a bunch of haters tell you you can't. You know how many people have told me $1,000 budget to turbo the SC is ludicrous? It's not possible. It can't. It's like, yeah, things are more expensive now, but there is the opportunity still to build things for a budget. And that's one of the things I loved about a Honda as a kid, man. You take an old B20 out of a CRV and slap a turbo on it and put it in your old DA tag, and I had a hoot. Absolute hoot. I didn't spend mega bucks. I mean, I bought the car at a auction, and I think I got it for, I don't even remember. I think it was like $300 or $400. Got it for super cheap. And spent, their $500, and I made a little weekend warrior out of it. I made it into a fun car, and I think I had, including tires, like $1,400 into the entire car. And that little DA tag, I had a blast, absolute blast. There was nothing crazy with it, nothing out of this world, but I had a blast driving it. That's the thing with this Sc300 is I'm having a good time with it, and it was a $600 car. For all intent and purposes, the only thing I've done to it were the brakes. Like there was parts that came with it. I put those parts on. I fixed some bad plug wires, and there was just a couple little things, a couple little maintenance things that the SC needed. $600, and I have a car that is a blast. I mean, I enjoy driving that thing. I would prefer it to be manual, but maybe that's someday. But right now, I'm enjoying it as it is, and I think that's the big message here: is enjoy the car you have. If that's a truck, cool. I mean, the only things I'm not keen on is when people make the cars unsafe for a style, and you know who you are. But yeah, we're excited to go get some parts for the Sc300 today. Everything's on a budget. I'm going to be selling part of the parts I get, and I'm going to be keeping part of the parts I get. Seems like the seller's pretty cool, so looking forward to buying these parts, and hopefully they're in good shape. And yeah, we'll check it out. It's a nice day out, and we got turbo parts, so I'm excited. Gray Type R, we got this 60 millimeter TT, which we don't have a TT head, so we can't use that. 2JZ manifold, so if you need one of those, let me know. It's a CX Racing. We'll be selling that. We got our downpipe, mid pipe. Got charge pipes for both sides. The Gray Type R, though, I'm super excited about. We got the wastegate, which was missing its fire ring. If you don't know, you have to have that to run this. People often will not have that, and then bad news bears. So yeah, anyways, need the fire ring for this. But that's off of our Mark IV Super. That was a placeholder turbo that we got off eBay. So we'll be running that most likely on the Sc300. Good little entry turbo. Anyways, super exciting. Nice day out. Beautiful day to buy car parts. Boom. SC's getting turboed. Well, guys, that's it for today. We're still waiting on our wire harness from WireGap for the MR2. That should be here any day, and then we'll be working on this, and then we are hopefully going to be pulling that Sc300 in here and getting rolling on that. We are still after I think we want to go ECU Masters on the Supra. I think that's what we're looking at. They're currently on back order, and honestly, with doing these two other projects, I'm going to have to pull the funds together to finish the Supra. So yeah, I think we're going to end up switching to ECU Master. That's what it looks like. I was talking to a couple different manufacturers, but I think that's the direction we might end up going. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure and like and subscribe down below, and stay tuned.